Many parents are told that their child has ADHD because they start noticing that their child is restless. They're always on the move. They are distracted. They're moving from one thing to another. They're constantly on the go, all these things. But what if that hyperactivity or restlessness was something else? What if the root cause of that was because their nervous system is functioning on overdrive? I'm Dr. Steve Lako with Lako Family Chiropractic, and in our office, we see a pattern with these kids. We don't see it as a mental disorder, but it's more a neurological imbalance. Specifically, we see two key areas of the nervous system that control the body's shifting between go mode and calm mode. We can relate your child's nervous system to the workings of a car, right? So you have a gas pedal and a brake pedal. The gas pedal is going to be representative of the sympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic nervous system should be only activated in short amounts of time. It's a fight or flight mechanism. So, for example, if there's a tiger in the room with you, are you going to fight or are you going to flee and run away? This is a survival mechanism. The brake pedal is there, and that's where we should be the majority of the time for calming, recovery, rest, digest. That is where we should be predominantly throughout the day. When these two things are in balance and working really well with each other, we see children that are regulated really well. They can go from transitions of one thing to another. They can follow directions very well. But when these two are imbalanced, for example, when the gas pedal gets stuck on and that brake pedal is just not working, that's when we see all these issues with these kiddos. One of the most important areas we check is the upper neck, right below the skull. That is where the brainstem transitions into the spinal cord, and it's a very high-flowing, high-impactful area for neurology. This is where things that are responsible for heart rate, breathing, and overall tone of the nervous system. So when we see stress in this area or misalignments, what we call subluxation, we see that that gas pedal is stuck on. It's just sending constant signals to the brain to go, 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 go. And when kids are in this mode, they're not able to pump that brake and calm themselves down. So their body is just going in that sympathetic form, even when everything in their external environment is completely safe. The next area that we're definitely looking at and is a very common cause of these issues is the mid-back or the thoracic spine. This is where the sympathetic nervous system pretty much originates in this area. It's hugely responsible for the regulation of the sympathetic nervous system, and it triggers that stress response when there's subluxations in this area. These are the kids that are going to have trouble falling asleep, just winding down, going from transitions one thing to another easily without putting up a fight or having an emotional breakdown. These are the kids that can't regulate their emotions very well. So that stress response is just always stuck on, and they have no ability to get that to regulate on their own. And that's where we come in as pediatric chiropractors. Through gentle, specific adjustments, we can tap into the nervous system in these areas where they have subluxations, where they have stress and misalignments. And we can start to pump that brake to get that parasympathetic nervous system activating and working again. And at the same time, to take that pedal and that foot off of the gas, right? So when we start to work on these specific areas, we can see kids, they start regulating themselves better because their nervous system is regulating and working better. So they're sleeping more deeply. They're able to go from one activity to another and transition more appropriately. They're able to focus. They're able to have conversations and not be onto all these other things and get distracted. So just a more well-balanced kiddo. And again, we're not treating ADHD. ADHD is just a symptom of what's going on internally in this child's body and brain. So if we can regulate that nervous system, get to the root cause of this symptom of ADHD, we can regulate the behaviors of the child and get them more consistent and more balanced. So if your child's system is just not regulating on their own, it's not about discipline or behavior in that way. It might be a more deeper level of the nervous system not being in balance. So if this message resonates with you, make sure that you subscribe so you can get more videos on kids' health and development. And also you can reach out to us and see and learn how we can assess your child's nervous system and get them going from crazy chaos to calm.